Now we are going to study the phenol, formaldehyde and related polymers. So there are two polymers that we need to study under this. First is the bakelite and second one is the melamine formaldehyde polymer. First we will be studying about bakelite in detail. Now bakelite, in order to prepare bakelite we need to follow 3 steps. Okay, so first we'll start with the first step, that is phenol and formaldehyde reacts with each other to give different products depending upon the ratio of reactants. Now here your bakelite is formed using 2 monomers or 2 reactants, that is phenol and formaldehyde. So now let us draw the structures. Okay, so this is phenol and you are going to add up formaldehyde, that is HCHO. Okay, this is formaldehyde. Now there are 3 ways in which the products are formed, that is C. Phenol and formaldehyde react with each other to give different products depending upon the ratio of reactants. So if we are going to change the ratio of these 2 reactants, we are going to get 3 sets of products. Okay, so this is basically your reactants here, phenol and formaldehyde. Now if we are taking it in the ratio of 1:1, okay, that is 1 of phenol and 1 of formaldehyde, then what product are you going to get? You are going to get 2 products here. First is, again draw the structure same as it is, that is of phenol. Draw 2 structures. Okay, you have your OH group here, you have your OH group here. Okay, this is phenol. Now always keep in mind, when the substitution takes place, the substitution takes place at ortho and para position. Now which are the ortho and para position? Okay, I'll just do a different diagram here. For example, this is the benzene ring. You have the ortho position here. This is called as the meta and this is called as the para. Similarly, ortho, meta and para. So when the substitution takes place, it is either on the ortho side or the para side, okay, not on the meta side. Why? Because when the substitution takes place at meta side, the product that is formed is unstable, okay, and we do not want any unstable products because that will give us an reversible reaction. Okay, that is why the substitution takes place at ortho and para position. So here you will get, so now you have your phenol, so this group CH2O, okay, so this will be substituted here, CH2O, along with an H. Now from where did this H come? If you look at the benzene ring, you know that we have 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 carbon atoms, okay, and then you have this double bond present and then you have H which are present, okay, in order to satisfy the valency of carbon. So check here, look at this carbon atom, 1 2 3 4, look at this carbon atom, 1 2 3 4. So in similar way the capacity of or the valency of carbon is fulfilled along with this H. So there is an H here, so when you are substituting this group, that is formaldehyde, CH2O, that H which is already present will go along with it. Okay, so now because this is present on the ortho position, this is called as O methyl lol phenol. Okay, why OL here? Because you have your OH group, that is alcohol group. Okay, so this is one product that you all are going to get. The next product is the same group, that is formaldehyde group, will go and attack the para position, not the meta position but the para position. I told you because meta is unstable. So here also same, you will get CH2OH. Now because this is substituted at P position, this will be called as P methylol phenol. Okay, So these are the two products that you will get when you use the reactants in the ratio 1:1. Okay, now the next possibility is using ratio 1:2. So now here again draw the phenol structure. Two times formaldehyde, so your ortho position and your para position. So you'll get CH2OH group here and CH2OH group on the para position. Now what will be the name? You have to follow the alphabetical order. That is, first is O, P. How many times your methylol group? 2 times. So this is going to be dimethylol phenol. Okay. Now next possibility is by using the ratio 1:3. So now again draw phenol structure, OH group, 3 times formaldehyde. So your ortho, your para and another ortho position will be substituted by CH2OH group, CH2OH group, and here also CH2OH group. Okay, now again here also while naming you have to follow the alphabetical order. So alphabetical order, how many times O? Now this is ortho position, this is meta, this is para, this is meta, and this is ortho. So how many? First alphabet is O, P, Q, right? So O. So how many times O? Twice OO. Then you have 1 P. How many times methylol group? 3 times. That is why trimethylol phenol. Okay, I hope you understood the first step. What is the first step? Phenol and formaldehyde. Phenol and formaldehyde, they react together in different ratios to form different products. Okay, now I told you CH2O. From where does that H come? So if you look at the benzene ring, in order to satisfy the valency of carbon, there is one H which is present. So that will come along with the CH2O group. Okay. Now the second step is phenol and formaldehyde reacts or it undergoes polymerization to form a low molecular weight polymer which is called as novolac. Okay. So now we will be taking the O-methylol phenol. So draw the structure of phenol here. And along with that you have your formaldehyde, that is HCHO. Okay, so after this we are going to get, you have your OH group here and then you get your CH2OH group here. Okay, now the next step is what you're going to write the same product but in inverted form. Okay, inverted form means now you will write in this way. Okay, you have your OH group here. Now this CH2OH which is there on the ortho position here, write it on the opposite ortho position. So you will get CH2OH. Okay, now here you are going to eliminate water, that is H2O. So if you eliminate water, so OH and H here, this is H2O. Okay, you are going to eliminate water here, that is H2O. So after elimination, what are you going to get? You are going to draw the two phenol groups again, that is OH OH. Okay, now this is CH2, so write it CH2. You have your CH2 group here as well, so this is also CH2. Along with that, can you see there is an O here? So you will get that O, so you just have to join that along with O. Now this linkage that is formed here is called as the ether linkage. Okay, this is called as the ether linkage. Now ether linkage is ROR. I hope you know that this is the functional group for ether linkage, that is ROR. So basically this phenol group, that is this methylol phenol, this is R, then you have O, and this is another R here. Okay, again I am explaining you take your phenol and react it with formaldehyde, so you will get OH along with CH2OH. But the next product that you write it in the inverted form, that is the CH2OH group, which is written on the ortho position here, will now come on the other ortho position. Then you are going to eliminate water. Okay, you are going to eliminate water. Okay, after eliminating water, that is H and OH, you are left with CH2O and CH2 from the other product. Next you just have to join it together, CH2, this O here, CH2, and then you have your OH. Okay, and this linkage that is formed here is called as the ether linkage. This is CH2. Okay, and then you have your OCH2. Now next what you have to do is, you are going to take your phenol group along with formaldehyde, that is CH2OH, and you have your OH group here, and then you are going to treat it with the same product again. So that is OH, CH2OH, and I hope you know here there is an H. Carbon is present here. Now I'm not showing this in the form of double bond. This is a resonance structure, but it is understood that there are double bonds in there and there is an H here. Now the next step is what you're going to remove the water molecule. So if you remove the water molecule here, what are you going to get? This is going to get eliminated, right? So you will be left with I'm writing here minus H2O. Minus H2O means you are eliminating water molecule. So draw the two phenol structures again. Okay, here you have OH, here you have OH. This CH2 group, write it CH2, and you have eliminated water, so this bond will be connected to this, right? So now if I continue this chain, then you will get something like that, CH2, and then you will have another phenol here. Here also you will get CH2, and then there will be another group here. So this what is formed here, this is called as your novolac. Okay, this is called as your novolac. The third step in the preparation of novolac is, the novolac obtained is heated at high temperature and pressure to obtain highly cross-linked polymer, which is bakelite. So now here we are going to draw the structure of novolac, which we got in the second step. So here we will be drawing 3 phenol molecules. I told you this bonds here means the chain is going to continue. Okay, so here also you will be having CH2, here also CH2. Okay, so this is the structure of novolac. Now if formaldehyde attacks here, and of course you have an OH group here. Now if formaldehyde group attacks this novolac, then I told you it is not going to attack the meta positions because they are highly unstable. So it is going to attack this position, that is the para position. So here we will get CH2OH, CH2OH, CH2OH. The next thing what you're going to do is you're just going to draw the novolac structure again in the inverted form. So it will be so again draw 3 phenol molecules. Okay, inverted means whatever is there up will now come down. So here it will be OH, OH and OH. Okay, here you have your CH2 group, CH2 group, here you have your CH2 group, here you have your CH2 group. Okay, and here there is going to be H which will be present. So now you have to eliminate water molecule, and then you have to join the two structures together. After the elimination of water molecule from here, you will just have to attach these two structures. So you can see you have the first Novolac structure, this is the second Novolac structure, and it is attached by the CH2 group here. So this is the structure of bakelite. This polymer bakelite is a rigid polymer, which means that it is hard. It is insoluble and infusible. Insoluble means it cannot be dissolved in any liquid, and infusible means it cannot be melted. Now bakelite is a polymer which has high tensile strength. That is why it is also used as a substitute for glass. Now some of the applications of bakelite are, it is used in making articles like telephone instruments, kitchenware and electric insulators. The next polymer is the melamine formaldehyde polymer. So first here we will be taking the reactant or the monomer melamine. So you are going to draw the structure like this. First N, then you have the carbon atom, then again nitrogen. So it is basically alternate: carbon, nitrogen, carbon, nitrogen. Okay, so this is how you are going to draw it. Then you are going to have the double bond, of course, to satisfy the valency of carbon. Now wherever there is carbon, you are going to write NH2 group. Okay, NH2, and here also NH2. So this is the structure of melamine, and you are going to react it with formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is HCHO. This is formaldehyde. Okay, now this formaldehyde group is going to attack this carbon atom here. So what are you going to get? So again draw the structure. N, you have carbon atom. Now I am not writing the carbon atoms there. Okay, so this is what you have here. This is nitrogen, and then you have your double bonds. Okay, here you have your NH2 group, here you have your NH2 group, and here you are going to write it as NH. Okay, NH2, no, so you are going to write it as NH CH2O, CH2O, and that one H of NH2. Okay, so it is going to be NH CH2OH. Okay, the next step is, in order to carry out the polymerization, you are going to eliminate H3O plus ion, that is hydronium ion. So you will remove this OH group from here, one H from here, and another H from here. So you will be left with what? You will write the structure as it is. Okay, you have another N here, then you have a carbon atom, right? So this is your structure. Okay, now you are removing one H from here, so you will be left with NH, right? Here down you are removing one H from here, so you will be left with NH, and here you are left with NHCH2. You are removing OH from here. Okay, so you will be left with NHCH2, and this what is formed here, right, denote N here outside the bracket. which means that the chain is going to continue. And this, after polymerization, this polymer what is formed here is called as melamine formaldehyde polymer. Okay, just an explanation for the second one, that is melamine formaldehyde polymer. You are going to take the structure of melamine. I told you how to construct the structure for melamine: nitrogen, carbon, nitrogen, carbon, nitrogen, carbon. So opposite nitrogen and carbon atoms will be repeating. Wherever there is carbon, you are going to write NH2. So that is the structure of melamine. Then for formaldehyde, it is going to be HCHO. This formaldehyde is going to attack this carbon here. So everything else remains the same, and here you will write NHCH2O, and then you are going to add that H which was remaining from NH2. So you will get NH2CH2OH. For the process of polymerization, you are going to remove hydronium ion, that is H3O+. So OH from here, one H from here, and the other H from here. So after that, the polymer which you get is the melamine formaldehyde polymer. Okay, show these bonds because it shows continuation of the chain. The applications of melamine formaldehyde polymer are the decorative tabletops like formica, and it is also used in plastic dinnerware. Now the next polymer is viscose rayon. It is a semi-synthetic polymer which is regenerated cellulose. Cellulose is generally in the form of wood pulp, and then it is converted to viscose rayon. Cellulose is a linear polymer of glucose units. Linear polymer means it is going to be in the form of a straight chain. It is having the formula of C6H10O5 But here, while carrying out the preparation of viscose rayon, we will be representing cellulose by cell OH. Now we are going to study the steps that are involved in the preparation of viscose rayon. Okay, so first we are going to take the cellulose, which is written in the form of cell OH. Okay, so cell OH, this is nothing but cellulose, and we are going to treat it with NaOH. NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. Now this, if you look at sodium hydroxide, then here Na has a plus sign and OH has a negative sign. This OH here, if you look at this OH, then here O is negative and H is plus. So what is going to happen here? This is minus, so it will go along with the negative. This is minus, so it will go along with the positive one. So you will get cell O is minus, so here Na is there, so here you will get Na plus. So this H OH which is minus and this H which is plus will give you water, and this cell O minus Na plus which is formed here, it is called as alkali cellulose. Alkali cellulose means basic cellulose. It is going to be basic in nature. Now you are going to take the alkali cellulose, that is cell O minus Na plus, and you are going to treat this with CS2, that is carbon disulfide. Okay, carbon has a positive charge, sulfur has a negative charge. So what are you going to get? Cell O minus, because O is minus, now it is going to form bond with carbon which is having a plus sign. So you will get O minus C double bond S. Okay, because carbon is plus, you will get a double bond here, and then you will be left with one S from here which is having a negative sign and Na which is having a positive sign. Okay, And this product which is formed here, that is cell O minus CS, S minus Na plus, it is called as cellulose xanthate. It is called as cellulose xanthate. So now you are going to take this cellulose xanthate and treat it with water. So cell O minus CS, S minus Na plus water. I am writing it as OH, okay, so that you understand the plus minus sign. H will be plus and OH is minus group. So now tell me what will go along with what? S is minus, so it will go along with H here, right? Because S is minus, this both will pair up together, and Na will go with OH because Na plus and OH minus. So what you will get? Cell O C double bond S SH plus this Na and OH. So now this product which you got here, that is cell O C S SH. If you look at the signs here now this is going to be minus, S is also minus, plus and minus. Now H is plus. So now we want a different compound here, or we want the cellulose to be generated. So what you are going to do, and what is the formula of cellulose? Cell OH. So cell O, this H will move along with the O, and then you will be left with what? CS2, that is carbon disulfide. So basically you are regenerating the cellulose rayon. So if you look here, I'll just revise it. You are taking cellulose in the form of cellulose, that is cell OH, and you're treating it with NaOH. Okay, O has a negative sign, H has a positive sign, Na has a positive sign, OH has a negative sign. So of course the one which is negative will go along with the positive one, and the negative group will go along with the positive group. So you will get the alkali cellulose, that is cell O minus Na plus water. Next you take the alkali cellulose and react it with carbon disulfide. C has a plus charge, sulfur has a negative charge. So again the same thing happens. O will go along with the carbon because O is negative, carbon is plus. It will form a double bond with one sulfur atom. The next sulfur will move along with Na plus because S is minus and Na is plus. This is called as cellulose xanthate. Next you treat the cellulose xanthate with water. Now again water, I have written it in the form of H plus and OH minus. So this will remain as it is, cell O C double bond S, and because S is minus it will form a bond with H, and Na is plus and OH is minus, so it will give you NaOH. Now you are going to take this first compound or the product which is formed here, that is cell O minus C double bond S SH. We know that cellulose has, or cellulose is represented as cell OH. So cell O minus H plus, and then you are left with C and 2 sulfur atoms, so that will give you CS2. So this cell OH which is regenerated is called as viscous rayon. I hope the steps are clear to you all.